One judge of truth is that if we looked at a lot of other models, the things that showed up common, sort of the template that was underneath a lot of the differences, would kind of be the truth. It reminds me of the saying that truth is like a hard ball. You can kick it around all day and it will be the same at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That these bits of these other models that have reflections and ultimately show up again and again, almost like a Venn diagram, like the overlapping parts or something, that's the truth. That no matter where you stand, you're going to find some kind of an interconnection.
If there are a series of models or experiences, and you can find something that runs through them all, then that thing that runs through them all must be more primitive in the higher sense, than any of these. That's correct. Then the whole goal would be, is there a culture that allows you to gain an insight into that, and perhaps verify its existence? Right? Yeah, that's the game. Yeah. So let me do one more or two sentences on Milesius so I can get the flavor of it all to you. Well then, since what is real could not have come into being, it not only now is, but always was, always will be, and since it has neither beginning nor end, it is unlimited. So we find the same thing in Parmenides, Milesius, Heraclitus. Remember, we found the same thing in Heraclitus, the same higher vision. And therefore, just to remind you, right, those great quotes of listening not to me, but to the Logos, it is wise to acknowledge all things are one. Wisdom is one, to know the intelligence by which all things are steered through all things. Same thing as Parmenides. And we can find other quotes to remind you of what we did with Heraclitus. Therefore, you know what? These curious people were pursuing a certain line of thought that went on. And the richness came from what we now call Turkey, what comes also from what we now call Syria. It came then from Greece. It came out of perhaps the Mannonian culture in Egypt. It was that rich, lively culture that brought together this very interesting and high development of human thought. So, thank you very much. What questions?
Just one thing I wanted to be greedy here and ask you to tie Zeno into this.
Oh, Zeno. Oh, well, Zeno takes the opposite side of it. He says, if you don't think this is true, I'll show you what you think is absurd. If you don't think this is true, I'll show you that what you think is absurd.
So would you say he comes away with the same principle as Parmenides, or something different?
No. He shows that the common notions that you hold to be true, he'll show you that when you look upon them, two possibilities emerge, and those two possibilities are irreconcilable, yet they must be assumed to be true. Therefore, the everyday worldview is held to be contradictory and absurd. Let's try it. All right? If things are many, they must either be finite or number or infinite. Agreed?
Yeah, things are many.
They must either be finite in number or they're going to be infinite.
Okay.
Well, take the case that they're going to be finite, for they must be as many as they are. If finite, they must be as many as they are, neither more nor less. And if they are as many as they are, that means they are finite in number, are they not? Hey, wait a minute. On the other hand, if things are many, they must be infinite. Because you'll always find other things between any that exist. And between these, there are always yet others, are they not? Well, therefore, things must be infinite. That's the way he reasons, see. Oh, you think there's some legitimacy in your view about things? Well, they either must be infinite or finite. Good heavens. Really? One or the other? Oh, well, he can show they must be both. Both, yet they're contradictory? Yes. What does that do to the original theory? Looks like it shows it to be irrational. And he does that again in several other ways. All right. Anything must be moving. He used the argument with motion, which is another one we're all familiar with. All right. Good? Good?
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Enjoy it. Thank you.